except the vessels belonged to those countries who are in war with us, who are fighting with us. Those vessels who want to pass should obviously coordinate with our military because of the mines and obstacles which exist. So we will guide them to pass, as we have done for a number of Indian vessels, and we help them to pass. The safe passage of all vessels is our policy and in our interest, and we are ready to help those who want to pass safely and securely. This is our policy. At the same time, we have the blockade by the US. We have insecurity in the region because of the US aggression. So obviously the situation is not like the past, but once the aggression is ended, then I'm sure everything would go back to normal. And we make arrangements for the safe passage of all vessels from the Strait of Hormuz, together with Oman. As all of you know, Iran and Oman are two coastal countries in two sides of the Strait of Hormuz. The strait is located in territorial waters of Iran and Oman. There is no international waters in between. So everything should be managed by Iran and Oman, and this is what we are now consulting with each other to make sure that the arrangements, that there would be a good administration in the Strait of Hormuz in the future, which guarantees the safe passage of all vessels.
Dr. Araghchi, I'm Adil, I'm from Prestige. My question is about the BRICS joint declaration.
In which Israel has been called out about its relations in Gaza and West Bank and its illegal occupation in West Bank.
Please don't use microphone, guys.
Yeah. Israel has been called out for its aggression in Gaza and its illegal occupation in West Bank. But there's a mention that a member state had a reservation about that matter. Can we know which member state is that? And also, we haven't seen any reference to US-Israel aggression against Iran. Why is that?
Well, you have to ask the president of this meeting to answer that question. I'm not in charge to answer those questions, but I think everybody knows that which country blocked anything against Israel, and that was very unfortunate. The same country did help US and Israel in their attack, in their aggression against Iran. The same country provided the US and Israeli forces with their airspace, with their territories, with their military bases. And as far as we are concerned, they are in a direct party to this aggression and should be held responsible.
So, I'm Siddhan from Beyond. My question to you is, what conversation you had with the Indian External Affairs Minister earlier today? What conversation was on Hormuz, especially given the fact that there are Indian vessels still in the Hormuz? Will they be allowed to move as soon as possible because it's impacting the energy prices here in India?
Well, yesterday I had a very good brief discussion with Prime Minister Modi, and today a lengthy meeting with Minister Jaishankar. We discussed about almost everything, including the Strait of Hormuz and the situation in the Persian Gulf region. I have to say that we have more or less close positions, and we have same concerns and same interests in this important region. So we continue to coordinate with our Indian colleagues. As I said, the situation in the Strait of Hormuz is very complicated right now, and we are trying to help ships to pass safely. Everything would go back to normal once the act of aggression is totally and completely ended.
Minister Vishnu Shah from NDTV, welcome to our country. There is, as Siddharth was mentioning, a great deal of concern about the flow of oil and gas from the Persian Gulf to India. Is Iran not willing to get into an agreement with New Delhi to allow the sustained movement of Indian ships from the Persian Gulf to India?
Well, India has been a customer of Iranian oil in the past, and it has been stopped by India because of the U.S. sanctions, U.S. illegal unilateral sanctions. So we are obviously interested to continue our business in oil business, energy business, and we are ready to sell our oil to India. Of course, we do understand their considerations, and we do understand the consequences of the sanctions which are imposed by the U.S. So we have no problem. It's up to the Indian government to decide. But I believe that once the sanctions are lifted, we will immediately go back to the same volume of trade that we had with each other. You know, before those sanctions, we used to have more than $20 billion of business and trade with India. Now it is much smaller, but it's still in billions of dollars. So Iran and India have always enjoyed good trade and business relations. I'm sure the capacity between the two is really high, and we can go back to same volume that we used to have, or even higher, as soon as sanctions are lifted.
Okay, thank you. I'm Elena from Task Force Agency. Sir, yesterday you met your Russian counterpart, Mr. Lavrov. Did you discuss the offer which Russian officials have on the table regarding the removing uranium from Iranian territory to Russia? What is your current position on this offer from Russian side? And can this offer crucial in resolving this deadlock in negotiations between Iran and US?
Well, yes. Yesterday I had a very good meeting with Sergei Lavrov. I have to say that we have always consulted with our Russian friends. We have a very good relation, strategic partnership, and we have always consulted with each other regarding all international, regional, and bilateral issues. I met President Putin in St. Petersburg about, I think, 10 days ago, less than 2 weeks ago, and we discussed everything, including the question that you mentioned. We are thankful to our Russian friends for their offer and for their, intention to help the resolution of this problem. Of course, this is something that we have to decide during the negotiations. The subject of our enriched material is a very complicated one, and we have now come to the conclusion with Americans that since it is very difficult, we are almost in a deadlock on this particular question, let's postpone it to the later stages of our negotiations. So for the time being, it is not under discussion, it's not under negotiation, but we will come to that subject in later stages. And when we come to that stage, obviously we would have more consultations with Russia, and we see if the Russian offer can help or not. This is not something for the time being.
Sir, Excellency, leaders from New Tech in India, you were also part of negotiation. My question to you is that what are the main issues preventing an end to the conflict between your country and USA?
I think I already answered that question. The most important question is the question of mistrust, or the lack of trust from our side to Americans, and I explained the reasons of that mistrust. Another issue is, or another problem is as I said, contradictory messages